Alright, I just played an Invoker game and I want to highlight some things that I learned from the game. What the fuck is this? So, we've been pushing mid lane, I managed to take the tower, and with Beastmaster we took the bottom tower. And now we're catching a Mars, he used BKB, he even dies, which is amazing, and then we take Roche out of it. So we have the Beastmaster, we have a couple auras coming up for us, Tombstone is used, and we instantly take Roche. After we take Roche, what is it you want to do? Of course, you would love to leverage this into a mid lane tower push, so this is what we're trying to attempt. And then we're fighting around a little bit. Sadly, Luna didn't join us quite there, but we're fighting a little bit, and I think we used the Aegis, and things happen, which is fine, which is chilling. Luna is joining, and now we're winning the fight. And then we're moving it into a mid lane push. This is just to give you some context. So now we're pushing the top tower, the mid lane tower, because we realize, okay, we have the auras, with alacrity we can actually take things. They use the double glyph that they have, and now the things change a little bit. So we're trying to get the melee Rex, because I'm like, hey, okay, I have BKB again, we can play again, and maybe we can do this. And nice. Now we took the melee Rex, this is pretty much all we wanted. We used the Aegis, and we got the melee Rex as we anticipated. We forced 2 glyphs, and now things change a little bit. So from this perspective right now, what you see here, we see that all we try to do is to disengage a little bit, because it would be almost unethical, since this Beastmaster is dead and Venge is dead, to try to go for anything more, or try to force things, or try to force fights. Even if you get the range tracks, it doesn't really change the game for you, and the risk of dying becomes higher and higher, since this Ember could be like going back to base, we don't know, and refill mana, and then still play again. So what is the play to do? The play, in my mind, is to go bottom. Because what we want to do now is we want to cross the time gap that it takes for us to get the next Roche and get the next high ground. So what I want to do is I want to be bottom. I want to be pushing out this bottom wave and threaten this tier 2 tower. Because I think that even if we don't have Aegis, we still have the power to actually fight for this and just challenge the tower. So as I usually try to tell people, when I coach them, is I tell them, push the enemy safe lane, because this enables you to get the first building if it's still up, and it enables you to get the second building if it's still up. So that's exactly what I'm doing. We're going bottom. And this is still for context, this is not the main point I want to get at. But now we take this objective. And now what? Like, we can try high ground. We were like, okay, we can try high ground, we can poke at it a little bit, but we don't want to overcommit. We can see how it goes. We see Ursa is still top. If things go well, we can poke it a little bit, but we're not gonna overcommit. I just want to see a reaction, and then we want to move away again. So this is exactly what we do. We fight a little bit, and we take this tower, and here I'm like, okay, this is fine. Maybe we poke a little bit on the Ursa, but we see, okay, this is not going anywhere. So I'm like, nope, I'm out. And where do we go? Of course, the map opens up again. We saw that all of their people committed to be in the bottom area. Where do we want to be? We want to either, like, somebody maybe could be farming in this direction back to increase the net worth, but I want to be top. I want to be pushing out top and prepare this area for the next Roshan. So we took the first Roche at minutes 20, and now we have 8 to 11 minutes time to prepare everything for the next Roche. In my mind, the next Roche is the biggest win condition we have. So skipping forward, I already pushed out the top lane. My teammates are already posturing here. We are at 26 minutes in now, so we know that Roche can be spawning like in the next minute or in the next 3 minutes. And what just happened is that a couple seconds before, my Luna was farming bot lane, and my Luna died. So for me, this is like, okay, that's kind of sad for us. Like, this sucks a little bit. You could be chilling here. You could be even taking the Ancients. Like, we don't need the farm necessarily, even though we're all stacked up. But all I want to really ensure is to take the next Roshan. Because if we don't have the next Roshan, it's going to be difficult. If Ursa has the Roshan, they might have an opportunity or a window to come back in the game. This is another swing, and we don't really want to have that. So we set the stage, and we have defending this area successfully. I'm super happy that both of their cores used BKB. And now this Luna is gonna respawn. And Luna respawns and TP's bottom. And in my mind, this was a huge mistake. Like, if you TP bottom right now, not only do you risk dying again, but also you leave us in a very weird position. As soon as Luna shows on the lane here, the people, they should ping her, and then maybe you don't go for the Luna because she's so far away, but you can smoke up together and you can do another fight, even if you don't have BKB, even on the chance that you just kill 1 or 2 people. If you just kill one guy, maybe me even, this would be like as Invoker, especially if I have like a score lead, I'm 8-0 right now. So if you kill me or the Venge or whatever, then you can break this area and then you can contest the next Roche that is coming up in like 2 or 3 minutes, like statistically. So you have the information, okay, Luna is bottom, instantly you should smoke and get this and contest the area. And from my perspective, I'm just like, wait, this is so weird, because now we have to hold this area and we have to wait for Roche. As you can see, my Forge Spirit is sitting here and has been sitting here for a while. It's gonna sit there a while as well. I'm gonna refresh it continuously to see Roche. And yeah, again, like it goes down and we see Roche now. And Luna is still sitting bottom. And suddenly we saw the movement. Like from our ward perspective, let's see if we can get this in. Like we put in the wards. And then we saw that they warded, like they smoked. This looks weird on the replay because we don't see the tree. But we saw that they smoked because they obviously didn't show on the map, they didn't show on the mid lane, and they didn't show bottom. And then we saw the ward replacement. And I was like, okay, we're super late now. Since Luna didn't show up at time, it's difficult to play. And now we're like, okay, what needs to be done? All that needs to be done is to be breaking the smoke and try to scare them away. Like we don't fight here and we don't chase anything. So we see something, we see an initiation, I hex the Mars, we get the Mars, great. And what happens now is that people are like, great, let's kill them all. But this is, I was like, chill guys, look, my position is like, no. We're not chasing anything here, we are taking Roche. Like the only reason we stayed here in the first place was to secure the Roche, because no matter what net worth you get or what kill advantage you get, this doesn't win you the game. And so somebody asked me, like while I was playing the game, somebody asked me, don't you usually preach that you should stay in the bottom lane? Why was it a mistake for Luna to TP bottom? If there would be an objective, like if there would be a tower, then maybe we could argue, okay, let's get the tower first, let's try to pressure the tower and get an objective out of this. But even then I would argue that the thing that actually wins you the game is not the farming space that you enable yourself to get the net worth and the items to win the game. It is just to take Roche away from Ursa for yourself so we can pressure high ground. So we finally managed to stay in this area. We tried to play it very patiently. We set a high ward and we tried to defend the area. And then as soon as Roche spawns, we tried to take it. Luna was still off, so they had the opportunity to smoke and contest this. And then the play is to only break the smoke, cancel their aggression, and then retreat to the plan. Like, don't get baited into weird things. And don't try to take high ground if you know that Roche is the only opportunity to get it. Maybe you could even say, well, there's a chance that I can make the same play without the Aegis, but you always have to see that if you mess up, like if you try an high ground attempt and you don't have the Aegis that guarantees it for you, then their probability of winning just increases. So try to be disciplined and do the right play, even if it takes time. We've been sitting here for like 5 minutes to control this area, and we've been doing it disciplined, and we can see like the benefits of it now. So we're going to take Roche. Let's center the camera here so I don't have to move too much. We're going to take Roche, and instantly we want to make a movement. And we want to make a movement in one direction. And we want to be together as a team, and we want to slowly sit behind the Luna and just let Luna do the work. I'm an Invoker, I'm just going to sit here with the hacks that I have, and I'm going to chill and just sit behind him and not overcommit. So as you can see, I'm trying to keep my distance, and all I do is I spam ping my hacks on this area, and then if they show, if they do something, we can make an aggression. I had to use BKB here, maybe this was a little bit hasty as well. But again, I'm like, we don't have to do anything, we just want to chill, we want to reset. I'm not sure why Luna is fighting here on the right side. I think we should have stayed here continuously and just put the same amount of pressure. If they run into us, they run into a wall, because we have the Tombstone, and we have ultis to back her up, we have the auras to back her up, and we have hacks, and we have everything. So there's no need to overextend and put us at risk here at all, I think. But nevertheless, we made the right play. With this high ground holding whatever strategy, we managed to take Roche, and this eventually enabled us to finish the game. Sweet. So this was a very important execution, I think. I think the concept is clear for many people. So many people are like, okay, what do we need to win the game? We need to do this and this and this. But then they try to defend areas, and while defending the area in their mind, they're making an aggression at like towers where they cannot play. They're making an aggression at mid lane. They're using abilities. They're forcing things that they shouldn't be forcing. And suddenly one of them dies and the whole structure breaks apart. Or something like this, where you have like Luna and it's like, well, but I want to farm somewhere else and I want to gain net worth in the same time. Where you don't realize that actually net worth is not in this particular game. It's not what's winning you the game, but it's just the ability to gain the Aegis and then hold it. So what I want to like give you as a thought process is try to be really, really methodical and disciplined about what you want to have. And sometimes it's a net worth and sometimes it's an objective. And if you want to have the objective, do only what is necessary to take the objective. Like, don't overdo it. You don't have to overperform in this in a game like Dota. You only have to do what is necessary to win and not to do anything above. Like, you don't need to get any crazy kills if you can get the objective without it. And many times this is for pushing especially important, I think. And this is something I trained a lot, especially with Exort Invoker, I feel like, is very control the runes, and you don't let Ember get a single rune. And even though, as you can see, like he outblasted me quite a bit, what happens is that this Ember is going to feel the need to rotate, which is a different topic now a little bit, but his need to rotate leads into me putting slow and passive, almost passive aggression towards his tower. And if you look at this mid lane tower, like, just took a little bit of damage, and then it just takes a little bit of damage. And you do this a couple of times, and even if he's here more, like, you just do it consistently, this consistency will enable you to get the objective that you actually need. And it's not the let's go all in 100% and overcommit everything and try to get the triple kill behind the tower approach. Maybe if you have a hero that does it, like Puck or Void Spirit or something like this, but most heroes are actually enabled by just slowly pressuring and putting the pressure where it hurts. So I want to encourage you to, I think Jenkins said this, to soft commit. Do the things you know are right to doing very slowly and almost gently, so that it's like the frog in the boiling water. Like, you set a frog in water and then you slowly boil it. And the passive element comes with the slow change. Like, if things change slowly, people don't react aggressive enough. This is maybe to kick this really far off, but this is, I think, a great lesson for life as well. Like, if you're at a place where you feel you're just comfortable enough and things are just not bad enough, so you actually change it. Like, if things slowly progress to a worse and worse state, then you won't notice the difference in such a sharp contrast, and then you don't take the proper action to go against it. But try to abstract yourself from your feeling and the greed of taking like objectives fast, or the greed of killing people fast, or like overcommitting, controlling areas that you can't control, and just see, okay, what would be the necessary thing to move my gameplay a little bit forward. And then you figure out what this is, and then you see, okay, how minimal can the effort be to still gain this objective and to still gain this goal. And yeah, I think this is pretty much, somebody told me that like life, human life is like electricity. You always choose the path of least resistance. And the same thing can be approached as in Dota. Like, the same thing can be just be applied here, and you just slowly take the things where you know, okay, this is something I can do. This minimal pressure is something I can apply without putting myself at risk. And if you do this consistently, like, you get scores where you're like 8-0, or what was it in this game, where you have like high scores and you still have the impact, but you don't risk yourself dying. And especially maybe heroes like Invoker or XP heavy heroes, maybe every hero basically, but of course heroes benefit from not dying. So just do this over and over again. Don't die, as the announcer Pack says. And yeah, see the difference. Feel the difference of the slight annoyance that you can put into games without overcommitting and without like having this all or nothing approach. Just slowly push it. Cool. I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely learned something here, and I felt this was a great game where we had like, I don't know, just a nice matchup and a nice feeling of where we should be together and what's happening. So I really enjoyed that. I'm looking forward to learn from Dota for life and to learn for life for Dota. It's a fun journey. Thank you for joining me.